Yeah, we got 12 so far. So we're going to be looking at the confirm the original birthing estate land title, and we have a PDS form and a doc form with a -2. We want that -2, the second version.
Careful.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think we lost one there. Maybe they'll call back in. That's probably calling back in right now.
Yeah, we're up to 11 now, and people will come back in. 12 now again.
Okay, has everybody got the files downloaded for the latest thing that Tom posted up yesterday and today?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm bringing them up right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Got them out.
Okay, just like I was finishing up on the call there the other night, Wednesday night, talking about Alice in Wonderland. Stupid girl, you don't know who you are type scenario. Well, going back through the dictionary, basically it led me right to confirmation, and we have to come in and confirm that we are the entity, the living entity that is on those documents, on the land titles. The DD-214, estate land title, the certificate of live birth, estate land title, and basically the Church of Rome baptismal land title. Your world inheritance with the Church of Rome. Now, the Roman Catholic Church makes it pretty damn obvious that they're trying to deceive you in confirmation. They get you to take another name instead of confirming your baptismal name. So that's pretty blatant right there. But people didn't understand it, and then they thought they were going to be a soldier of Jesus Christ. Hey, Jesus Christ is dead. He ain't fighting no damn war anymore. We're the ones that are supposed to be out here living. We've got to confirm that we have our right of inheritance, just like the world was given to Adam. The devil came along and has been trying to take the assets away from the people ever since. That's the whole gist of it. These bankers are the devil. And half the patriot community out there about rejecting your land title, they were totally wrong. We've done that. We've tried that. We can't reject it. Okay? They will let you slide in some regards, but you really can't reject it. It's yours for life. You just have to go in and boot out the fictional tenant that is holding it for you, your placeholder. Because, see, that has not been confirmed, so right now it's being operated as a conditional title. And as a conditional title, then the state can come in and use it as collateral. Until you confirm it, that is yours, then they have to give you all of the assets that they have accrued in their collateral assurance banking transactions, using your assets as collateral assurances. You can modify that document if you want to, but basically that should give you the general understanding, and it should be, you should be able to modify that for, if you have military records, to modify it appropriately. I had Tom post one up last night, but I had it for the military, but I had this updated version today for the certificate of live birth. So there's some changes that would be on the one for the military one that need to be changed off of this one that I had Tom post up today. So that's it. You send one into the county if you registered it to county land books. Okay, and your birthing county record book. And if you don't know the book and page number, you just have to know the name and basically the date it was recorded. And then send this in and have the registrar make this an enlargement into the birthing record. Then you do one into the state and United States vital records per registration number, and that's your registration number that's on the certificate of live birth. That you are the living entity. Now when you come in as the living, now you get all your rights and privileges because you have now confirmed who you are. See, there's no entry in that book that has your landmarks and has your signature. Not signature, but written by. You use written and sealed by. That is what you need to do, okay? Because, see, on the example the other day, I showed you my little card that basically came from the clerk of the court back in '65. It had my name in all capital letters, but you look down the thing, and my mother and father's name were capital first letter, small letters in the name. Why? Because they put a writing or a written by person's name on the certificate of live birth document. I couldn't write at the time, so they just put my name in there, and basically that clerk of the court couldn't determine whether I was the actual or whether I was an artificial entity. There was no proof that I was alive. We have to come in with our right and left index fingers. And I've said that before about certain things, using your right and left index fingers. Those are your outer boundary markers. You stick your two right and left index fingers out to the side and basically draw a circle encompassing those two marks. And you just encompassed your body. That's shown in a lot of different items out there about the man with all the different arms, two arms, two legs, or four legs, three sets of arms or something. I forget what the hell the damn figure is that basically they have on some of these items for a man. But basically they also have a circle around it. And then they have the triangle figures in there too. But that's all we need to do. We need to come in and confirm that we're the living entity. All the court charges out here are really against a fiction, and then they bring you in as a second or third party into the frail, or say you're the principal party in the process, when 99% of these laws do not apply to you. They only apply to a fiction. But you can't have your natural rights or your constitutional rights or your declaration rights or your state rights or your sovereignty rights until you identify that in a written declaration that you are who you are and that you have title to that land. You have to claim the land from your birthing state, then you get to be a sovereignty of the sovereign state, the land of the state, because you came from the land. Now that gives you your sovereignty. A corporation cannot really be a sovereignty. They're a fraud. I told you it was all in the word definitions. Basically, if people would look at these things more often out here, they might have seen some of this stuff. But that's it. You send that in, and basically then you run copies of it after you've signed it, or written and sealed by you, and put your index fingers and then embossed it if you've got an embosser. You scan a copy into your records, and then you print out a couple extra copies, and you stamp them copy. You send 2 wet ink signature copies, or written copies in, to the county recorder and to the state registrar. The state registrar will submit that out to Washington, D.C. to put into their books. That will bring out the men in black. You can do the same thing with your baptismal. If you have a baptismal record and you send that into your local church, if you're under one of the main church systems, and then you also send it into the Church of Rome headquarters at the St. Patrick's Trust building in New York. But if they got you to confirm a false name when you turn 12 or 13, you have to revert back to the baptismal name, because the baptismal name should be the same name as on your land title, your county land records. Why do they always ask for a maiden name of a mother. Because they have to know where she came from. Because that's where her assets are, is under her maiden name, not under her married name. Now, in the Social Security system, they've switched things around on us in some cases, using last name first, and then first name, middle name, and then taking the dashes out of the account numbers. They give you the Social Security number, but they take the dashes out. You can take a look at some of these forms, like the 8302 form, where it needs to have a bank routing number. It's just got 9 boxes there for numbers. No dashes. You try and put a dash in, you're going to mess it up. You need to open up your eyes, people. I can't do it anymore for you. I've done just about everything I can. From here on out, it's up to you to understand what this is all about. Just like Epsilon in the movie Alice in Wonderland there said, "You stupid girl, you don't know who you are." About 3 or 4 times through the movie. Finally, towards the end there, she rattled off, and Epsilon said, "Finally, you know who you are." Because all the way through, basically she was doing the patriot movement of deny, deny, deny. We've got to come in and confirm that that is us. Then we can have our assets. And we have to put landmarks into the land records showing that we are the owner of that land. We have to put our metes and bounds into the record showing that we're alive. It's that simple. Now, like the bottom portion of that, if you don't want to put all that stuff down about Social Security and stuff like that, you can take some of that out. But if you understand what I'm saying there, not that the clerk of the court or the county recorder is going to understand any of that, that doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Because, see, I've got this now, and I'm going to print out copies of this, and I will send it into the Secretary of State, into the Attorney General's office, and into the Treasurer, saying, that is my land, not your land. Just like the song says, my land. And then they have to give us our sovereignty items, our sovereignty passes out here. All of our rent money that basically has been held from us for the usage of our land by the tenants and by these Tor fessers, feasters, or whatever. Really, tort flea sores. And a flea is a bloodsucker. It's a mini vampire. And a tort is a wrong. And they've been doing that to us all along, sucking little bits of our blood away from us. So they're fleas. That's why I put that word into the document several places on the updated one. Okay. Open it up, Tom. Who's got a damn question? You can rebut me right now and tell me that you don't think this is right. And I will tell you to go to hell. So don't even bother saying that. Because it's all in the Bible. It's been out there. Jesus went there, but basically he took on a second name when he went to the temple at the age of 12, because his name was Emmanuel. It wasn't Jesus at birth. It was Emmanuel. And it wasn't until he went to Pilate that he renounced Jesus as his name. That's why you never hear anything about him, because coming out of that, after they crucified all his contracts, he appeared on the other side as Emmanuel. Jesus, the fiction, no longer existed. But Emmanuel, the man, did exist. But you've got to read what's going on in the Bible and understand the play that's laid out there. Because it never made any sense before, to me anyway. And see, we've heard of people in the Roman Catholic Church, of people going to the Vicar General and getting their bills paid. Well, how did they do it? They had to confirm on the baptismal that was their name on the baptismal item, not that, and they renounced the confirmation name if they had one. They had to confirm who they were. Then they could get access to their funds. Because we've been out here trying to reject, and it ain't working, is it? Now you take this into a court, and basically that will shut that court down. Because the court action can't be against the living any longer. And they have no right to your assets any longer. If they do, you can charge them with criminal and prosecute them as a tort feaster. Fear, whatever it is. Okay? Any questions? Comments?
Yeah, I'm looking at one of your documents called Landlord Confirmation by Written Memorandum. And you have, I guess it's just an example, you just have July 4th, 1776. And that's just an example date, right?
No, I want you to use that date.
Okay.
Come on. Steve?
I didn't tie it together yet.
Okay.
Because the country was a state, the county was whatever. I don't know. I don't know why you use that date.
I just stuck a date in there to show you how you would record the date.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, that's fine. And then you used your state number with the dashes underneath that. I mean your
certificate of live birth registration, whatever number they gave you. Okay, If you don't have 13 digits in it, put down what they gave you.
Right. I remember we have codes.
And you say in the state, you put California, you put Virginia, you put whatever, Iowa,
right.
in where it has state.
Yeah.
Or Dale.
And the date in number 1 is your birth date plus the 7 or 10 days it takes to.
You got to speak up, Tom.
The July 1776, that's your birth date plus the time it takes for the county to record it. It's the county recorder, right? That's not the certificate of live birth recording date.
No, that is the date that you were recorded into the land records, the birthing records.
Okay, birth plus 7.
At the county. That's why it says county.
Right.
That other is a registration at the United States to put a claim against your certificate since you have not claimed it. Okay? Your parents didn't come out and basically get your little fingerprints or whatever and put a document in to prove that that was you as the living. See, they could have taken my certificate, my hospital birth certificate, and put it in there with my landmarks on it and basically put that in as an apostille. It's under gold seal. I'm confirming that this is my document and I am the living individual that has my feet prints on here. So therefore, that person or that entity that's in that record book is a living entity, not an artificial person. That's all you have to do is confirm that you're alive. You're walking around in a daze, just like Alice was in Wonderland there. Like Dorothy was in the Land of Oz.
And the 2 dates you have in the first sentence is that's your birthday for the first one, and the second one is the one that was recorded by the certificate of live birth.
On which line in the first paragraph?
It's on the second line in the first paragraph. That would be your birthday. And
well, what does it say? What does it say?
Born
that was
on.
Born on.
Right, born on.
Okay, that's the date you were born.
Right. And then the
what does the second one say? The date you were recorded on.
Right.
That's the date you were put into the land record.
COLB date?
Tom.
Okay. Birth plus 7.
We're talking about the land record here first.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how you guys ever made it out of school. Really. You don't think.
Yeah, there's a box on the bottom left corner of my land record, my receipt, and I was born September 4th, and it says date received by local registrar, and it says September 11th. That's the date I want.
Well, what does it have a date recorded there too?
I'm looking.
You should have a date that the person recorded it and a signature by the recorder who recorded it.
It says date signed. I'm looking at it. It's really hard. I've got a magnifying glass. I could barely read it. In performance certificate, attendance certificates, and registrar certification. They all, one's got the real birth date and the other one's got the other date. Okay.
I don't know why you guys make these things so damn hard. You're looking for the date you were born and the date that it was recorded. And basically the last date that's on that certificate of live birth is the date it was recorded into the books. After that, it went up to the state. You don't see the date that the state put their date on. Because you don't see the second registration. You don't have a second registration signature on there by a registrar at the state level. I do. Everybody was supposed to be given one, okay? But nobody kept their damn documents. So whose fault is it?
Ours.
That's right. Or your parents. But you just have to think these things through. You've got to be the creator, okay?
Yeah.
I can't create shit for you. I'm done.
Hi, Patrick. I have a question.
Okay, I figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was not born in this country. So how does this apply different for me?
You've got a naturalization, okay? But you have one back at the country you were born in. You should have a birth certificate from that country.
Yeah, I have it, and it has my birth date and the registration date also.
Right, and you're going to have to claim your inheritance from that country and bring that into this country. You'll have to work with the State Department on that, confirming that that is you on the naturalization paper, and that they need to go and bring your assets into this country now, since they are now claiming you as a citizen. Expatriation Act. You expatriated away from that foreign country. What does it say about the U.S. Marshals in there? They can go and get your shit for you. But the State Department should process that over. And maybe the State Department's already processed it over. And it's probably under your naturalization paper documents being held in the in the coffin under your dead person that's on that naturalization paper. See, they would do the same thing there. There's no markings on that naturalization paper showing that you're alive, is there?
Right.
You have to put your living marks onto that as an apostille or an arrangement. See, that's what needs to be done in all this apostilling bullshit. It's the state and the United States Secretary of State, because people have been using that apostille totally wrong.
I see. So I would take my birth record and then submit this memorandum, and then have it apostilled, and then go back to my birth country to claim it.
Well, you would go to the Secretary of the state and have them check it out for you. You're now a citizen, right?
I am a citizen. I actually don't have my certificate of citizenship, but I am a citizen, and I do have the birth record.
You've got your naturalization paper, right?
I don't have it. I tried to file a Freedom of Information Act for it. They didn't respond with my certificate. Because I
What document do you have that says you're a citizen of this country?
Actually, I don't have any documents that say that, but I know I have citizenship.
How do you know?
Because I got it through my parents when they became citizens.
They what?
I got it through my parents when they became citizens because I was underage.
Well, where's your mom and dad? They've got the document then.
They claim not to have it. Well, last time I asked you this, you said that they have to pay for that, the $600 for the immigration document. But I don't know, it seems like I don't even need that certificate of citizenship from the U.S. I just need to submit my original birth record into the Secretary of State and ask them to confirm it.
Yeah, you take your baptismal certificate and you do the confirmation on that, and then you would submit that into them where you have your naturalization papers at. The court records, or basically you got naturalized at some damn federal court. That's where you need to go, okay? The federal court building has your naturalization papers wherever you were recorded at or naturalized at. The clerk of the court's got them.
You should be able to get it just like any other application that you only have to pay $25 for.
We don't know that, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, is what I'm telling him. He needs to go to the clerk of the court for the district that he got naturalized in. Because he had to get naturalized in front of a federal judge. So that documentation, there would be a copy of that at the court recorder's office, clerk of the court's office. Yeah, there's one out there at the Secretary of State's office probably too, but go to the local area. Okay, enough on that, okay? I gave you the answer. Now you got to find the solution. Okay, next question.
I still have a question on this one, if you don't mind, Patrick.
Okay.
Okay, so if I wanted to put a stop to a court action, I would just submit this as a copy into that court action. Basically modified for my scenario, right?
Yeah, but you need to get in and you need to get a copy of your naturalization. 2, you need to find out what your naturalization paper is to show that you are a naturalized citizen. Do you know where you were recorded at?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then get in touch with him and find out. Ask him. Unless you ask the damn question, you're not going to get an answer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I can't give you all the answers because I'm the wrong person to ask the question to. But I'm giving you a resolution to your answer, where to go. Now you have to go there. Then you get your naturalization paper. You've got your certificate of live birth. Then you do your confirmation based upon those 2 documents. that you have been brought into this country, and now you have all the rights of a sovereign landowner here in this country. Because you brought over your sovereignty into this country. Then all the constitutional rights and everything apply to you. Okay? Don't make it any harder than it is. I mean, this is too damn simple. Any other questions out there?
Patrick, on that first paragraph, I should have looked at the whole paragraph first rather than going through it line by line. Get the general sense.
Yeah.
I would have seen that.
E per this written memorandum.
Yeah, you read it through and basically then you come back and fill in the blanks.
Right.
I mean, we had things like that in grade school. You'd read the sentence, and then you'd fill in the blanks and see if you came up with the right answer.
And if we don't want to make a reduced size, for example, like you do, we could just make a genuine...
You don't need that. You don't have the book and page number.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You just leave that completely out. That's what's shown on the second one.
Right. The second one, -2, doesn't have any...
Huh?
The second
Tom, you're breaking up. You're not speaking into the mic right.
I have a bad mic. I'll shut up.
Yes, there is no document attached on the second one. You just reference the items, and you're putting this in, okay? I just put that out there to show you as an example because I had that little card that I got from the clerk of the court. And basically it was intuitively obvious after I started looking at it what was going on. We had not confirmed that we're the living. That's why our name has been in all capital letters in different places.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good, Patrick. I understand what you're doing.
Now, I'm not doing anything that wasn't done in the Bible.
Well, it sure is hard to see it in the Bible. Even when you read it or study it, it's real hard to see that. I'm glad you're...
Well, that's why they put this statement out there. Those that have eyes that do not see and those that have ears that do not hear. And then they speak with a forked tongue. Just like in that movie, Alice in Wonderland. Basically, who did she have to kill?
I didn't watch that movie. I don't know that one.
Everybody out there watch the movie? Know who she had to kill? Well, I ain't going to tell you that.
Yep, I watched it a long time ago, but I don't remember that well.
This is the 2010 version of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I downloaded that. I didn't watch
Yeah, you told us one time, like one or two conference calls ago.
Just one conference call ago. Jabberwocky.
Something walkie?
Jabberwocky.
Jabberwocky. They're using jabber out here to deceive you.
Jabberwocky, yeah.
You've got to kill the jabbery, the false jabber that's going on about you.
False talk,
Yeah, the deception, the controls that they have over you.
Great.
The fear tactics and everything else that they imply.
Worshipping the dead with their black robes.
You don't need to go there, okay? You get this done, Steve, and you put this in the court case and basically you shut that whole thing down. Right. And you basically will get that vehicle released. You say, okay, here's what I want, and I want that vehicle returned back to me, okay? You settle the bill with them.
Right.
Because if you don't settle it, I will bring charges against you as the judge, because you are a joint tort feaster along with the county prosecutor as a tort feaster along with that cop.
Yeah. I'll look that
I did one for a lady today, okay? She's out of Virginia. She's got to send her documents into her county there in Virginia and to her state registrar's office. After she signed or written and sealed by with her index fingers, and after I finally got her to sign it right, capital first letter, small letters, because she's been ingrained so often with some of this bullshit out here from the Patriot community about signing little letters and all this garbage. And we didn't even put the item between the names. Okay, if they wanted to call us, that's our name, that's our name. Okay? That's us. We'll claim that name, that full name, right now. Because that's our title. Now, after we claimed it, then we can change the damn thing. If you don't like that last name, you can change it after you've claimed it. Because now you've moved it into the private, out of their control. You need to have your estate EIN, foreign grantor trust EIN. You need to have the foreign grantor, the estate, and those are your two bank accounts within your private bank, and you are an individual banker in that bank. Then when you look at the 1041 form, the bank, your bank's name is the fiduciary for that estate EIN or the foreign grantor trust EIN that is putting out a 1099 against these places to bring your funds home. But you have to have been confirmed that you are who you say you are first. Just like Jesus, the man went to Pilate, and basically Pilate said, I find no fault with this man. He didn't say, I find no fault with Jesus. He was talking to him as the living man. And all that blood and guts in the damn Bible is all bullshit. The killing of everybody. I said this all along. You don't kill off a workforce, 5 years of workforce, and all of a sudden get up to the age of 25 or so and have a big 5-year void of good labor at your disposal. That's ludicrous.
Yep.
And all the patriots out here that want to run around with guns and gold and silver, they're complete idiots. You can't eat gold and silver, and as soon as you fire the gun one time, they will know right the hell where you're at. If you want anything for killing power, get a damn crossbow or a compound bow. Be like the Indians in this land. A knife. Snares. I mean, there's so many different ways to basically catch something. And snares work on a man just as well as they do on a raccoon or anything else.
Good advice.
Just common sense. You don't want the whole damn army coming down on you, but basically you can fight in a stealth position, sort of like Swamp Fox and Grey Ghost did in the Civil War. Swamp Fox was in the Revolutionary War.
I'll have to look that
They
up.
snuck around and they attacked and ran. Okay? They did more damage than most of the other ones that just walk into a damn front line and shoot at each other. That's ludicrous fighting. Just like what was going on in Bosnia and stuff in World War II. What do they call them? I forget what they call them, but basically they were hit and run people, and they did more damage than to the German supply lines and everything else.
Call them the partisans?
Well, that's one, and I think those were in one of the other countries.
Yeah, they were in Serbia.
Hey, Patrick, is there a reason you said here, I'll just read the sentence, part of the sentence, tortfeasors, the foreign copyrighted United States and statute, you just put S-T-A-T-U. Is there a reason to spell it that way, or is that just an error?
No, that's a typo on my part.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, it would be the other three letters. And then S-T-A-T-U-T-E. Right. Statute.
Do a comparison to the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rewrite it, make it. Like I said, you've got to put that down as your document.
Oh, I know.
Okay?
I'm just looking at it.
Yeah. I give you an example, and that's all that it is.
Right.
Now, you can make up your claim however you want to. But mine will be hitting the two offices tomorrow morning, hopefully. And then you do one for the military people. You do one if you put your record into the county, okay, into the county records, and they would have no problem. I know mine won't, that I can walk right in there and have that put in to the county registers and against my 2 DD-214s that I have on file. Then also attached to that office just happens to be the other place that you need to go to with a military item like that. You give it to the VA representative, because the VA representative is nothing more than the local Social Security representative. Because that VA is a foreign-controlled corporation. It's a banking and insurance corporation. They are using our land titles, our military bounty land titles, in their endeavor, and then they're processing the excess fees over to the Defense Department. You got to see how the monetary game is played. Administration, banking administration. So, any other questions?
It's not Patrick.
Can't believe nobody's really got any other questions out here. Rebuttals or something saying that I'm totally wrong.
Oh, I don't see any possibility.
I mean, basically, one guy popped up there on the site the other day and basically was denying that I was wrong in several things. Well, basically, come on forward and bring out your claims and your proof.
Yeah, the ones who do that won't come forward.
Yeah, they're scared to come head-to-head with me. They'll basically try and get all the other people that don't have a good handle on this and try and sway them.
Yep.
That's the way these guys operate. They never go after the one that really has the hammer. They go after the people that basically don't have the good understanding and try and sway them.
I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Patrick, that it felt like you had to bring the birth certificate up to date, and you said no, but in a way, the confirmation is doing that.
Yes.
So I was.
But I wasn't looking at it at that point in time until I went back in and was looking at collateral inheritance or something along that lines, and basically right there in the definition, it said that we had to do a written memorandum, and then basically that led me into doing a confirmation in the words, and that's what you have to do. You have to follow the path of the words. Then you get your proof that basically you're in the right direction. But just to say something, basically you don't have the proof yet.
Right.
There's guys out there that basically are still denying certain things, and the state will let them away. Give them something But basically, they're still controlling the vast majority of your assets. I'm not sure what those guys up in Alaska are doing, but I don't think any of them have got access to their accounts yet. But it had to be something simple along this line. All we had to do was confirm that that is us on the document. As soon as we've done that, then we have control of that document. And we have the right to have that entered into the record books under our, as we are the original landowner, to come in and have that put in under our right of entry. And then we also have a right of action in any de jure court out here if they do not comply. Now when you start reading the rights, you can see how they really apply more so. But you don't have those rights until you get identified as the living sovereignty of your state.
You're sending this to the state and U.S. level of Secretary of State, Attorney General, and the Treasurer, right?
You what?
You're sending this to both the state and federal level for the Secretary of State, Attorney General, and the Treasurer.
No, that is later. Okay, you need to get this into the vital statistics registrar's hands.
Right.
First.
Right.
Okay.
I've got the
That's
reporter.
the one that goes out certified. Then you can turn around and take a copy of your certified one, a copy of it, and give that to the Secretary of State or to any court case.
Okay. You put the word copy.
Yeah, the wet ink written by and sealed by document has to go into the county records and the state registrar, Bureau of Vital Statistics or Health Registration, whatever it is, that has that certificate of live birth with the registration number at the state level. And then that state level registrar is really working for the federal registrar.
All along.
Out of Washington, D.C.
And we do it both with the county recorder and county vital records.
No, you do it at the state vital records.
Okay.
At your state capital, where you get your state certificate document.
Okay, got it.
I don't know why you guys make this so damn hard.
I took my notes fast and couldn't read them.
Well, stop reading your damn notes and just open up your ears and listen for a change. Okay?
Yep.
You're trying to do too many things at one time, Tom. I appreciate all your hard work. I really do. But you got to slow down and smell the roses, too.
Okay.
And you guys out there ought to thank Tom for putting these documents out there because you're too damn lazy to go out and type these things up yourself. You don't know how to operate the computer to scan something in a PDF format and then do a word processing conversion in an OCR or whatever it is format.
I can't. I don't.
But there isn't that much. It's only one goddamn page.
Right. Like we could transcribe it word by word if we wanted to. Yeah. We do.
And that way you'll catch more, you'll learn more if you do it yourself.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're a damn bunch of cheaters.
We're not copy pasting. We're reading it. You have.
And then you don't give any thanks to the people that are trying to help you, really, like Tom and his efforts that he's been trying to put out here.
Hey, we thank you, Tom. It's great. Appreciate it. I wish I could send you something.
Let's just all get out. Do the work and let's all get out.
We're all in the same boat. We're all gonna stick together and help each other do this anyhow.
There are some out here that are in a little worse shape than, and there's one guy up in Washington. And they see if you have a little extra that you want to try and help one of the other members in the group site here, get in touch with Tom, and he will give you the address to send a little funds up to this guy. Okay?
He could really use it.
Yeah, his name's Ray, I think.
And it will come back to you tenfold, I guarantee. Because you're going to get your account, and basically that is all you need to have, okay? You're not that far away, people.
Right.
You just need to get out there and get this thing done now. Because time is really short. Yep. Okay? Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Well, I'm glad you taught us all this stuff about, the estate trust and the foreign grantor trust and then becoming the individual banker. It's all fitting together like a glove now. It fits really, like you say, we're almost through the checkered flag. We're all set.
Someone else said they had a question, but they spoke very softly.
Okay.
Speak up.
Yes, I'll speak up. In earlier documents, you said that there was basically 4 points that gave you claims to the state assurance fund. Like, for example, if you were imprisoned, then you have a claim to the state assurance fund. Does that still apply?
You will take those all down. See, those are collateral assurances. So when you come in and claim your land title, see, they're using the land title out here for their assurances. So when you take the assurances away from them, and those other accounts are ours too, okay? Like I said, we're the owner of that Social Security account. Now, when we stop them being able to utilize it, they have to return all those funds to us that they're holding. See, we just took our football off the field, and we're going to go play somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what you spoke about last week when you talked about de-enlisting or quitting.
Yeah.
Quitting. You called it I quit or I de-enlist.
Yeah, and I did that paper, and they got mine at the Social Security office Friday. So basically, they've been notified that I quit, and they see now, and see, I had that under my signatures, or my written statement, too, with my fingerprints, that I was coming in as the living. I've got, and always scan a copy of these documents after you've put your autograph on them and your fingerprints and your embosser. So you can always run a copy off, and then you basically got it time-stamped in your computer. You are the banker. Act like a banker. Bank your documents.
Good.
And always back up your files on a little stick or something in case your computer locks up or blows a gasket.
Hard drives can do that.
Okay? Any other questions, comments? Okay, call tonight, Tom.
Hey, thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
You
Thank
got
you,
it
Jack.
simple and straightforward.
Okay.
I've got mine all ready to go now.
Okay, good night. Thank you very much.